So that way everyone can play their part. And when they're able to, they feel like they're contributing to the team. And then they also feel more a part of the team too.
It's like another route thing where it's like you all, like I work for all of you. So like the higher you move up, the more people that you work for versus them.
I probably, instead of troubleshooting, I would probably just throw everything out the window.
Yeah, see, and if I had to deal with the stuff he deals with, it'd be definitely out the window. Right on. Well, welcome to our next episode of Pochi Bubble Tea Spill the Tea podcast and show. I want to welcome Malyn, Sai, and Arthur.
Hi.
We got a really fun topic to kind of go over today. We are going to talk about common misconceptions, and we're going to go over like common misconceptions of being in a boba shop, working at a boba shop, owning a boba shop, and or your own business. Arthur here heads all of our IT stuff, so anything that goes wrong, he's the guy that handles it. So we don't know sometimes what he does, how he does it. It just works sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't, and then, he handles that. And then, of course, we've got Malyn and Sai here who handle all our marketing and content creation. And it's not just taking pretty photos, I can tell you that. So you guys ready to get started?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go. Well, let's start with common misconceptions of working at a boba shop.
I feel like you guys, I just remember when I first started, you guys would work in store quite a bit with us. So like I feel like it's been like since everything has like shifted a little bit with a new location. Like, do you guys still feel like you hop in like the rushes and like feel the rush more at Lynnwood? Because I feel like you guys are mostly here.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess, no,
Like bring you back to when you would
I
literally
know.
be like managing
in
your
the store
shift.
like every day.
Yeah.
We used to be in the store like a lot more. Now we're just kind of like there to kind of like check in and be like,
But you
hey,
still
how's it going?
trust the team to like already do it.
And then sometimes if it's like super busy, we'll like hop in and help out a little bit, but we're not there for like hours at a time helping in the store anymore.
Yeah, I
So,
used to be like CSMing and stuff.
But I know that was a cool thing that's a lot of people liked, though, that I know that when they got like brought on board, they're like, oh, it's kind of cool, like actually working with the owners and like they're like
Working beside us and stuff.
and getting to know us, and it's not like, oh, they're just the owner and they're never here. So I know that's kind of like a cool thing that a lot of people do like about that, of like getting to know the owners and who they're working for.
Yep. I know we don't get to visit Kirkland too often, so we should probably start hanging out there a little bit more and just working with everyone. That way, we're just not doing that here. But that's a really good point, because it was really cool for you guys to be able to work. It was cool for us to be able to work with you guys and then get to know you guys on a different level and stuff, and have fun, goof around sometimes, and pranks and whatnot. But it was really good. Yeah.
Expect to be pranked.
Just scare cam.
Scared. We had a scare cam. That was really fun.
Yeah, or just any like L's, like anything that just happened where we like would mess up, spill something really bad, fall, did something really stupid, or if somebody tripped a little kid in the lobby.
Oh yeah. Who was that?
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Sorry, no. You don't want to know because they'll get mad at me.
All right, I don't want to know.
Some kid just got flown across the lobby. That's all.
Oh my goodness.
Kind of. Another thing I think is a common misconception of being in a boba shop or working in a boba shop is sometimes it's just chill. I think our work culture here is a little bit different.
Yeah.
All right. There's always something to do. I think, and this speaks to you guys as managers side. You guys always find something for the team to do. So even because there are times where it's just kind of lull and like there are quiet times throughout the day, and that's just kind of the nature of the beast, right? Sometimes it's just like when everybody's coming home from like in traffic or something, sometimes it's quiet. I know a lot of our managers do a really great job of keeping everybody like on their toes. And it's really good that way because like it's so time goes by really slow when you're not doing anything. Like when you're just sitting there and just kind of scrolling through your phone.
And you're counting the
Counting the
hour.
minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
looking at the clock.
So I think that's something a credit to all our managers is that they're always looking. They always have something for everybody to do.
At Kirkland, we made like a list of like 20 things, and it's like a laminated sheet of paper, and it's 20 things to do, and there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we were like, how do we like find stuff to do? Because it's hard too when our store is like super clean because it's like fairly new and stuff. So once you like cleaned everything, you're just like,
What next?
yeah.
And then I come by, it's like, this is dirty, this is dirty.
And then a new set of eyes that's like not there
Yeah.
every single day.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like part of that misconception too is like, especially for the customers, is when the team is flowing well and they're vibing well and everybody's really like working hard and stuff like that, but they're still having fun and the customers see that.
Oh, that's
It
true.
doesn't look like it might not look
Yeah.
like they're working hard, but it looks like like the entire team's just having fun together.
Yeah.
And to the customers, to them it just looks like, oh wow, this just looks like a fun place to work.
Yep.
Yeah.
When really like people in the back are sweating still. Like
true.
That's true.
yeah.
And we're like,
It's all
"We
about
gotta hurry up."
perception. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what everybody does really well in is like they do have fun while they're working.
I feel like that's very important.
Yeah.
And most of our like the people we interview
Yeah.
say, "Oh, I want to work here because it looks so fun."
Yes. Yeah.
And it is. It's also a lot of. It's like you're also everyone in the team hustles,
Yeah.
but because everyone's carrying their own fair share, everyone gets to have fun doing it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like our work culture and just how we like try to be there for one another and then just make it like a really fun environment. But at the same time, we hold everyone accountable.
Yep.
So it's like
100%.
everyone is carrying their own weight and like helping each other out. And because it's not fun when like one person is like slacking off and everyone else has to like pick up the slack, you know? So I think the managers do a really good job at making sure like the work is evenly like distributed and like everyone's playing their part. They're doing their role. And I know like in a lot of the interviews that I have with a lot of applicants, one of the things that they actually don't like and that is missing in a lot of their jobs is feedback. Like they literally say like, oh, my managers just never give me feedback and they just kind of like either do the job for me or like not help me fix my mistake.
Yep.
And so like not receiving that feedback is actually doing more harm than good. Like, you know, because like they're like, oh, they're a new hire. So like they just don't know what to do. So I'm not going to like help them out or anything like that. And I know in the interviews, that's what's missing for a lot of people. So I think that's something that we do, like we try to work hard on is building a culture of feedback. So that way everyone can play their part. And when they're able to, they feel like they're contributing to the team. And then they also feel more a part of the team too.
Yep. Yep. Right on. All right. Well, that's a few common misconceptions. You guys have any other misconceptions that you think people have when they come strolling in and look at our space, look at our team?
Okay, not a common misconception. It's just a fun one, I think. Back when the store had like green, orange, red yellow walls, like a different color. And then we would like play like really chill like island music.
Yeah.
Oh, they thought we were like a.
They thought we were Hawaiian because we
Hawaiian
also
restaurant?
had we would get customers who come in and be like, "Are you guys Hawaiian?" Because there's spam and eggs on the menu. We were playing like really chill island music, and then the walls were just like all these different colors.
Especially when Artel's on Aux.
Yes.
Oh my
And then
God.
it was just like
J. Cole
such a
or
chill
island
vibe that I was like, it was kind of cool.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or we would play like reggae music.
And he was always wearing tank tops, so it looked like
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like an island.
Well, I guess
Really an
Artel
island
could
theme,
kind
yeah.
of pass off as Hawaiian, actually.
Islander vibes.
He's from the island, you know?
Yeah.
just not that island.
Not that.
different island.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next one, I guess while we're on the topic, common misconceptions of management, being a manager. There's a lot.
Managers just tell people what to do.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Why do you
Or-
guys think that? Like, why is that?
Because I feel like when you're in management, it's kind of people think that, oh, you just listen to what the manager tells you. Like, you're learning from the manager, when a lot of the times, like, you're also learning from your team as a manager. And I don't know exactly what you say, Ralph, but like, it's like another Ralph thing where it's like, you all, like, I work for all of you. So like, the higher you move up, the more people that you work for versus them working under you.
I'm glad you guys are catching on to the Ralph sayings. I like this. This is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. I see our company, our culture is kind of like an upside down pyramid, or Malyn refers to it as a top. In an upside down pyramid or a top, you need constant like balance, right? It's constantly working to keep that upright, because there are no such things as upside down pyramids, because they don't exist. The way we do things is kind of upside down. Everybody technically at the top is the one holding everybody up, kind of caring for everybody. That's why I want to emphasize to all our managers that you work for their team. You work for everyone else. So with the top, which is, I like your analogy of a company being like a top, it's constantly spinning, it's constantly moving, and it's constantly keeping its balance. So it's constantly working. So as I know for us in our culture, in our management culture, it's a constant, not just change, but just a constant effort to maintain the culture and the work ethic of the team. So it's work. It's work.
I think that's where like the misconception like comes from, right? Because it's like, oh, you move up to a manager role, so you have more people to manage now. You have all these people to boss around or whatever. And I think our view of how we lead our team is a little different in that sense, where it's not just about telling people what to do or just like delegating them or managing them, but it is leading them. So our focus is in the leading aspect versus the managing aspect.
Yep. You're not really in charge. You're responsible for the people in your charge. And that's the important the shift in your mindset. So, and thankfully, a lot of our managers have really taken well to that. So I'm really happy about that. What else? What other misconceptions have you guys come across in management as being a manager?
Maybe that like managers don't make mistakes and they're always right.
That's a good one.
Like,
They're perfect.
Yeah, like they're perfect. But no, like everyone has made mistakes, or like sometimes you'll get corrected by like a crew member, and like that's just goes back to the accountability thing. Or I know like it's kind of natural for all managers to kind of, I don't know, if when you're comfortable like doing something already, or like you don't follow like the exact procedure, they see you eyeballing something and they're like, oh, I thought you measure it out like to in the cup, and you're like, oh shoot, yeah, you're right. And then I don't know, the managers aren't always going to be perfect, and you need your team there to like check you in place sometimes, or like support you. Like sometimes even crew members will be like, you seem stressed, like what can I do to help? Like you just need that balance, like we were saying earlier.
Nice.
I think it's kind of nice too, because when you're not perfect and you allow your team to see that and be able to either one, like give you corrections and feedback, or see you own up to your mistakes. It shows a lot of humility, and like they can relate to that. But I think it builds a lot more respect and trust with your team that way too, because it's like not every like quote unquote like bad thing is a bad thing, because it just allows you to like repair that relationship and make it even stronger. So like just because like they see you make a mistake doesn't necessarily mean that's a bad thing. You know, like if they see you make a mistake, it shows that you're human, and then how you respond to that shows them how much they could respect you and like look up to you based on like how you respond to that situation.
I know one of the biggest things that is hard for a lot of people to kind of comprehend or wrap their mind around when they first kind of step into kind of one of our managers is that responsibility falls to the top. It's always going to be on you. So if somebody messes up, it's our fault at the end of the day, right? Because we haven't communicated it. We haven't trained them well enough on it. If they mess it up a second time, it's still our fault because we weren't clear the first time, or we didn't, provide clear instructions. If they mess up a third time, it's still our fault because we kept them there. While they were still, so at the end of the day, responsibility always falls to the top.
Yeah.
Which sometimes it takes a while because blame is always easier.
Yeah.
Right. By nature, we want to blame things other than ourselves.
Yeah.
Another thing that I know it's been a challenge to help people kind of get over is use it got busy out of nowhere as an excuse of why they fell behind on tasks or responsibilities. It's like, oh, there's a line that came out of nowhere. It's like, cool excuse, dude. What are you going to do better?
Yeah. And also, I think the reason why it's hard for people to understand, like, oh, the responsibility falls to the top and then to take ownership of it is because they also think by saying it's my fault, they're placing the blame on themselves too. And so I think separating, like, the fault doesn't necessarily mean blaming yourself, because if you're blaming yourself or you're blaming someone, it's almost like you're putting that person, yourself, down. And that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, like, extreme ownership here, not blaming. Like, that's more counterproductive than anything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Definitely not blaming yourself, but taking accountability for it. Because then you're able to change it.
Yeah, exactly.
Blaming is, whether it's something else or somebody else or even yourself, you're not taking the power to change it.
Yeah, if you're placing blame somewhere else, then they have the power. Which means you don't have any power you don't have any control.
Or you're giving up your power.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. I do know that I appreciate when the managers, when I see this or hear this sometimes, when we do have, especially new hires that mess up, and they do mess up and they feel really bad. It's like, oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. That was on me. I should have probably explained this a little bit better. That takes the pressure off of that person, which makes that person trust that manager more. Because it's like, okay, I know you have my back. And that kind of a culture thing, like that culture that everybody works really hard to kind of cultivate, is really cool to see, like, when it happens. So,
for sure.
I guess another misconception is that it's easy to be a manager.
Yeah, I know there's lots of times where, like, people, even, like, as a crew member, like, you can watch your managers and it's easy to nitpick everything they do. Like, oh, why are they doing it like this? Oh, why are they doing like this? Or, like, they shouldn't be doing this. And then come the opportunity for those people to, like, move up, and they're like, oh my God, like, I'm having the same troubles. I'm messing up at those same things that I hated in other managers or whatnot. Like, once you get into that position, then you, like, really know, like, wow, it does take a lot of work. Well, or at least more work than you think.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Next one. While we have Malyn and Sai here, you guys create content. You work on their marketing. You create some beautiful stuff. Can you fill us in on some common misconceptions of what you ladies do? Because, man, sometimes I walk into your studio and it's just like an explosion in there of materials.
I would say one thing that we kind of learned right off the bat, right when we started getting into, like, making a lot of, like, social media content and, like, videos and stuff, like, sometimes it would take, like, an hour or two just to make one video and like shoot one, like, little 30-second thing and edit it and make sure everything's perfect. And so I feel like timing was, like, a big wake-up call. Like, for you see videos on TikTok or blah, 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 and you're like, oh, they're not doing anything and they're making all this money and, like, they're getting all these likes and everything. But a lot of time actually goes into putting even the simplest things together. So I feel like that's a big misconception.
2022.
And us ourselves, we, like, came to that realization.
Because 2022 was our first year. First year, like, doing videos. When we first started, like, making just, like, short little videos for
at
Instagram
the end of
or
the
something.
day, I feel like everything's, like, art, and it takes a lot of perfecting and, like, tweaking more than you think.
It definitely takes a lot more time than you think it would. Same thing with, like, planning out kind of, like, our shoots or just, like, our feed even. Like, there was, like, a strategy behind it. We would, like, literally sit down and plan out, like, okay, we would, like, plan it out by, like, 9 squares. and be like, okay, here are the dates, here are the things that we need, here are our must-haves, and then here are the kind of visual look that we want to go for, and then here are the types of photos or videos we're trying to look for, and then we're like, okay, do we have these things? If not, then we had to go and create those things, and then if we did have to go create those things, then we had to plan out when we're going to do that. Who do we need for that? Like what
when
kind
it
of
all
look?
matches up with our schedules.
Or if it matched up with our schedules, because there's like 3 to 4 of us with completely different schedules, and all of you guys are in school, so scheduling sometimes was just like very difficult.
It's sorry, go ahead, Arthur.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, and then all of that compresses into a 30-second video.
Literally,
or one
that's what I'm
photo.
saying.
Yeah, we'll look at it this way too, right? We're here, sitting here, and what do you guys see? Us here, maybe a photo, Arthur's angle, Sai's angle, Malyn's angle. But if you flip the cameras over and see what Co-Create is working on back here, the cameras, the lights, everything that they put together, and then the hours of editing and piecing things together, listening to our voices again, like when they're editing, like, you know, that takes a lot of work. There's a lot of things in the background, but what does everyone see?
A short or a short take.
Or the short take.
A hot take.
Like they get like, oh, it's gotten a couple thousand views. Oh, it's so easy. Actually, all the work that goes behind it is quite a bit.
I think something I've heard about marketing before too is almost like a dismissive like view of like, oh, like that's even a job. You know, like
when marketing has to do with everything,
Yeah,
every
yeah.
single business.
Well, a lot
Like
of
it's
people
not a
think
serious job.
marketing is just all about sales.
Yeah.
Right? And that's another common misconception. Marketing is just sales. In marketing, what you guys do is you're trying to create relationships with the customers. Digitally, it's not that easy. Provide value, right? And that's also not always that easy.
Yeah, branding as a whole and how that connects not just like in the digital space, like in the online space, but like how does our marketing reflect what we do live in real life in store? Because if our marketing just doesn't really go and doesn't reflect kind of our values and what we actually live out, then it also doesn't make sense, right? Like we have to think about how that all connects to all the different facets of our company, our team even. So if we don't it doesn't make sense for us to be like, oh yeah, our team's great, we love our team, and we're all about our team, but actually like
There's like a fight in the store.
like our team hates each other.
Yelling at each other.
And what the customers see is like they don't even like talking to each other, you know, like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So it's like we have to consider like all of that as well into our marketing plan. It's like there's a lot of different layers.
Creates trust. It's like part of marketing is building trust. Because it would suck to come in and like, ooh, this pretty photo of the last drink we had, chamoy. And then you come in and order it, and it's just like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know? So part of it is creating trust, like brand trust, product trust, and that's huge. Right on. I like that. Arthur,
What's up?
you know, if it
The
wasn't
magic
for you,
tech man.
yeah,
I
this guy's a magic
know.
tech guy. So if it wasn't for you, there'd be a lot of iPads and printers thrown out the window by me. So, like, what are some common misconceptions of your job working behind the scenes, like the tech guy in our company?
Common misconceptions. I mean, I feel like, at least being here, I feel like there's not really too many. You guys kind of understand, like.
I feel like
the
from a
stuff I deal
customer
with.
point of view, no one's
not
thinking
from our
about like.
perspective, like we know.
Yeah, from a customer point of view, I mean, obviously they just see like a bunch of like they see the register and the iPad,
kiosk.
the kiosk running, all that stuff. That kiosk took how long did it take to get a functioning kiosk? Maybe like almost a year.
We went through
Really?
2 different companies.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you probably didn't know, but yeah, we went through.
I came back and it was already there. I think in Lynnwood.
Yeah, there was a lot of testing and troubleshooting behind the scenes. They set up the whole system like in our back office and was just like running through settings and then
testing it out.
yeah, testing it out, tested like, like closing register for the day on it and all that
Yep.
stuff. And
So when we built out Kirkland, I know you had your own setup at home. Can you describe? Because of course, when the store opens, the idea is, you have all the register and all this stuff ready. Your
It's ready to
kiosk,
just
your
install.
point of sales, your kitchen display. You're just copying and pasting. What did you have to do at home to get Kirkland ready?
Luckily, my roommates were very understanding about this, and this was in a tiny apartment. But basically, in our little dining area, I tried to set it up as close as possible to the layout and flow that we would have in Kirkland. So everything was placed in that exact order and set up the way I imagined it would be set up in Kirkland. And then I just, made sure all the settings were correct, everything was plugged in, connected correctly. And then, of course, I would try to run, test orders and all this stuff, even test what would happen if, all of a sudden lost internet connectivity, things like that. And just to kind of prepare for when you finally do move everything into Kirkland, then you have to disconnect everything, transport it all the way over there, and then reset everything back up. So there's definitely a lot of things that kind of, even just going on with setting up systems takes quite a bit of planning and preparation, and just, I should probably jot things out more. I'm pretty bad about that, but a lot of times I try to keep it all up in here.
Well, I know something you do jot down and keep note securely for us is all our passwords.
Oh yeah, I do have
Arthur,
all
what's
of
the
those.
password to this account again? Hold on, give me a second. About a minute later, it's this one. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah, I do have those.
Nice.
But I guess as far as just in general misconceptions, even working across other IT companies, or working for other companies doing IT work, other ones have just been there's either misconceptions about, you're in IT, so you can program something for me, or you're in IT, so you just kind of sit at a desk all day, or where what they don't see is when I worked at the casino is having to pretty much cut out a piece of that floor on the casino floor, lift it up, and then crawl underneath to run all the cables. And this is a dirty casino floor where all the cigarette ashes fall through the vents underneath. And I'm sitting there crawling through it, just trying to pull network cables through. So stuff like that, people don't see. Just kind of the dirty stuff that goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds like you can perform a heist.
Right? Arthur's 11.
Oh my
Don't
gosh.
say I already got in trouble once.
Oh my gosh. He said he got in trouble once.
Oh, no.
What? Spill the tea.
I wasn't the one doing the heist. They just thought I was doing the heist.
There was an actual
Oh
something
my
going
gosh.
on.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, just lots of things like that.
I know there's been some times where Arthur's running cable, right, as IT, and he's got his head in the ceiling,
Yeah.
Oh, over here,
yeah,
yeah.
just his head in
Yeah.
the ceiling and running cables and stuff. I was like, man, that just looks woo.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. There's a few misconceptions, but I think just after working in that field for so long, I just kind of used to it now. I just brush it off, whatever.
Yeah.
Or there's for some reason there's always a misconceptions, because now that we're not Arthur, Ralph, and I aren't in the store as much anymore, I know there's a misconception from our team sometimes that what do they even do? They're just sitting around in the office.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's your office back there, right? Is that
Yeah.
where you guys just hang out? Well, hey,
Oh, yeah.
hang out.
Because they don't see the work that we do, so they're like, "What do you guys do back there?"
Good. Well, that rolls right into common misconceptions of a business owner.
Oh,
Yeah, you guys, I think we were just talking about this, how we did another podcast on work relationship and
Yeah.
working with your wife or husband, and we were saying how how it's like since you guys are like your business
Oh,
partners.
yeah.
But then Malyn was like, I never even really see Ralph. Like he's always like running his own errands and like we work together and we come to work together, but like we're not like
we're not together the whole time. Yeah, actually, like a lot of the team will
Ralph
see,
is always running errands.
yeah, no, he's always around. Like when we're doing marketing, he's never around.
He's like, okay,
right?
I'm leaving. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I'm leaving.
So like a lot of the team will see Ralph and I go into the store together to say hi to like everybody on the team. And so a lot of the times they'll see us together and think we're always together. Except what they don't know is that that's Ralph and I's like lunch break.
Yep.
That's our lunch break. Is like, okay, we need a break. Let's just get up, go say hi to everybody, see how everyone's doing.
We'll go help out for a little bit.
Yeah, like that's our
our
break. That was our break. So a lot of people don't realize that's not us working. That's just our break. And then most of the time we'll carpool to work together, but like a lot of times we'll drive separately too because we start our day at different times. And then especially we have our own things going on. So like maybe sometimes he'll have class, I'll have class, or I got other stuff going on. So our days don't always match up. But most of the time we get to work together and then we're like in separate rooms the whole time, or Ralph's running around doing stuff and I'm like working with like you and Megan on marketing. Like we just have a completely different schedule. So most of the time we really don't see each other. Like at all. The conversations where like you, me and Ralph are talking together is like the most that I would spend talking to Ralph like that whole day. So it's like, yeah, we actually don't spend
a lot of time working together.
Yeah. Like we see each other every day, but we're not like in the room working together the whole time together.
You have your own projects.
We do, yeah.
Yeah.
We have a list of other things. Business owners work less than employees. That's a common misconception.
I feel like you guys are just like on the clock 24/7.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing too.
To different scales.
Yeah,
like you're
yeah,
actually
yeah.
working, and then like if someone texts you or is like needs your help, you still have to like show up.
Yeah.
Fix a like iPad.
Like always
turn
on
food
call.
up. Like
Always on call.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. Like and it's not saying that like at one point in time we're not going to be working that, or we are always going to be working this much. It's just we have kind of like aggressive growth plan for Pochi, and we want everybody to like do well. So like we are really double timing what we do now, so that long term, you know, everyone's kind of set up. We have the systems in place.
Yeah, I feel like I see it's like different seasons. Like when we first took over Pochi, we're in a whole different season in business where we were literally working like 12, 15-hour days every single day and was literally at work every day. You guys were still working your other jobs and coming to Pochi. So it was like, that was like a whole different like season for us where we did work a ton. And then now we're in kind of like a more, where we're able to step back away from working in the business to working on the business a little bit more. But we're still in like that really like aggressive growth phase and building.
Yep.
So
I know another common misconception is, as a business owner or entrepreneur, you get to be your own boss.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Well, and then of course with our what we talked about earlier, right? It's like the higher you move up the ladder, the more people you serve. So technically, as the business owner, as the entrepreneur, you serve everyone in the company. Which I understand it's not always like that for every business, but I know with us it's kind of a little bit different with that in that aspect.
I feel like a common misconception amongst just like people that work for a company and the managers or the business owners is that like you can't have like a friendship or like a relationship with them. Like you like we're all like pretty close. I feel like leads and like regular crew members. Like obviously there's like a line where you have to have respect at work for like higher management, but I feel like there's just like a conception where it's like you can't talk to your bosses about like your personal stuff or like ask them for advice or like do anything outside of work, or like here like we're all like close and like can talk to each other.
I'm glad you guys feel that way.
I feel like another misconception that I've even heard from from friends or even mutual people that we know.
Yeah.
Is that like, as owners, we should pretty much know and have hands-on every single aspect of running the business and like know everything that's happening at all times and all that stuff. And so, like if each one of us did that, like it's like nothing
Ralph
would ever
still
get
comes
done.
into the store and is like, "Where's your oolong?"
Yep.
Or your longan. That was like a couple days ago.
I think that's something that we all do really well at.
Yeah.
Is we give everyone the bandwidth they need to do their job well, and then we don't micromanage.
Everyone's focused.
Yeah. And then for us to do our job well too, right? And what role that we each play, it's like we can't just remember or like have to consider all the time everything that they do, because that's going to take a lot of mental space away from us, and then that takes away from us doing our best at what we need to do currently, right? So I think it just works better that way.
Focusing like on the foundation of your team and how you teach your team, and then being able to trust them so that you don't have to worry about those things is like how the workflow goes here.
And I mean, that's why we have our meetings and we touch base with each other
yeah,
all the
that's true, too.
time, right? It's so that we can make sure everything is going smoothly, and we're giving feedback when we need to, and that way it's not like we're on you guys like all the time and watching you like a hawk and hovering.
Yep. And I think that's something we've kind of all learned to do, is learn to double down on what we're good at and let somebody else that's good at something else be good at that and give them that space. I know, like the other day there was a video you showed me that your Sai actually made, and you showed me. I'm like, wow, that looks really cool. It's like, it's nothing that I could have made. And I think it was a better video than you've ever made. And Sai was the one who put it together.
Yeah.
It was like,
Thanks,
that's
guys.
really cool. Like I never even knew that. So like being able to give everyone the space to do what they're good at and doubling down on the things that we are good at. Because like, if Arthur had to really focus on the numbers and the kind of like direction of the business, I don't know, like you might stress out a lot.
Yeah. I probably, instead of troubleshooting, I would probably just throw everything out the window.
Yeah, see, and if I had to deal with the stuff he deals with, it'd be definitely out the window. Like we wouldn't have any iPads left. So, and I know operationally, like I couldn't even balance the stuff that Malyn balances, right? And it's like we've been able
Everyone
to.
has their part.
Yeah, she does. She does really well operationally and keeps everything and everyone moving forward. Like she keeps the needle moving forward really well. I think that's something that we've all kind of learned along the way, is just to kind of let each other do what we're good at and give each other the space to do that. So I'm really thankful for that. Yeah.
Yeah, it works out well.
Yeah,
I think so.
For sure.
I think so. I mean, can we do better? I believe so too. Like,
You can always do better.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
There's always improvement. But hey, you know what? We've got another opportunity because our third store is opening up.
I can't wait.
Yay.
I can't
So exciting.
So soon.
It's coming.
And
I
then,
know,
Am
right?
I allowed to say that?
well, until we sign the lease, it's secret. But by the time this video gets released, it'll probably be signed.
And
So,
in the works, hopefully.
Dang.
So here you go, you guys. It's going to be in Marysville. And it's going to be a brand new build. It's going to be really great. Everything's going to be nice and new, shiny and new. Even, sorry, it's going to have a better workflow than Kirkland.
I mean,
We learn from our mistakes.
yeah, I'm sure it should be getting better and better,
Better
every
every
time.
store.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, from then on, and super exciting. This year, we're going to have Megan and Sai full-time.
Oh, yeah.
Full-time marketing.
Graduating.
Graduating,
About time.
marketing.
Congrats.
Getting a
Thank you.
promotion as full-time marketing team. You guys will have your own specific and special titles and responsibilities that we have in store for you guys. It's very exciting. So we got a lot in store. We've got a lot in store.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Yeah.
very sad because you guys aren't going to be in Kirkland
But no
as
more
much.
in store for us.
I know.
Yes.
I know
Maybe
the
an
team's already
occasional.
really sad.
Occasional.
Maybe an occasional.
Yeah.
I think
for
picking
fun
up shifts here and
times.
there would be
Yeah.
fine, but like you guys will
Yeah,
definitely
I
have
know.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
just to, and you know what? It's not like, well, that's
We're
the
going to
thing.
be in the store
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna be creating content in the store.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be in your office all the time, so you'll be
True.
on site.
Yeah.
And when we're in Kirkland, like, we don't have our offices there. So it's like
Yeah.
we're in the store.
Yeah.
100%.
Exactly.
Yeah. at the table or something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging in and watching the show with us. And if you guys have any questions, make sure you drop it down in the comment. Like, follow, subscribe.
Yay.
And then we'll see you all in the next episode. Peace.
Bye.